amazing speaker is the UN Special Rapporteur on the promotion and protection of the rights to freedom of opinion and expression. Did you catch all that? Let's run that back. Somebody yell, rewind. A little louder. Okay, if you're ever at a poetry event, you yell rewind, it means I gotta say it again. He is one of the UN Special Rapporteur on the promotion and protection of the rights to freedom of opinion and expression. He is a clinical professor of law at UC Irvine School of Law, and he goes by the name of David Kaye. Can we please give a round of applause, little louder, for David Kaye. Thank you.
It's been a long time since I've been in a room with so much creativity and warmth and love. And Ani, thank you for bringing everybody together. My name is Waleed Abu Al-Khair. I was born in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia in 1979. I am a lawyer, human rights activist, free thinker, and Nobel Peace Prize nominee. Years ago, I organized meetings in the cafes of Saudi Arabia, meetings that included activists like my brother-in-law, Raif Badawi. We would discuss a range of topics that focused on the hope of creating a more progressive state, of creating a legacy of freedom and justice for our children. I was steadfast in my belief for democratic reform. At great personal risk, I advocated for the right to free thought and free speech. And so I named our meetings Smood, the Arabic word for steadfast. Soon, the monarchy caught wind of our actions, declared our conversations illegal, and shut down the cafes. I decided that the conversations would continue, and I invited people into my home for our Smood meetings. When Raif was arrested in 2012, I represented him at trial. When his sentence was delivered, my family suffered immensely from this injustice. Soon after, I found that no good deed goes unpunished. Because of my commitment to fair representation, I was brought before a specialized criminal court in Riyadh. On October 6, 2013, I was charged with breaking allegiance to and disobeying the ruler, disrespecting the authorities, offending the judiciary, inciting international organizations against the kingdom, and founding an unlicensed organization. I played no active role in my trial. I refused to recognize the legitimacy of the court by defending myself. During this time, I was interviewed by the media. I was asked if I was afraid, and my response was, I might get worried about my wife and family, but in all that has happened and will happen to me, I am able to enjoy my life because I feel I am practicing that which makes me happy, which is my freedom. In July of 2014, I was sentenced to 15 years in prison by a counterterrorism court. When the verdict was presented to me, I refused to sign a copy of the trial judgment. I was then offered a reduced sentence of 10 years if I apologized for my offenses, but of course I refused. Since then, I've been in prison, suffering from mental, physical, and emotional torture. I've been beaten, deprived of sleep, and kept in solitary confinement with no regard for my weakened state due to diabetes. I have been shuffled between prisons without explanation, which has prevented my wife from visiting me. Since 2015, I have been held in Al-Khair, which is over 1,000 kilometers away from my family. And my greatest source of anguish is that I have never met my daughter, Joud, who was born after I was imprisoned. I am pleased with what I did, and until now, despite all the harassment, I do not regret my choices. I am still on the right path. If you have a goal to live for, things become easier. My goals are justice, rights, freedom of expression, and the ability to stand up and say that the regime is unfair. On November 27th of last year, I received the Ludovic Triaru Human Rights Award, which was first bestowed on Nelson Mandela to honor, quote, those who defend the supremacy of law, end quote. It was accepted on my behalf by my attorney, Daniel Arshak, at a ceremony in Geneva. He accepted the award with a simple quote from the Quran. You who believe, be steadfast in your devotion to God and bear witness impartially. Do not let hatred of others lead you away from justice, but adhere to justice, for that is closer to awareness of God. Be mindful of God. God is well aware of all that you do. And that is my story. My name is Waleed Abu Al-Khair.